Good morning, folks. I've got my first video out the way, which is not a happy subject, but I've had my fill. Not that I was angry in any way, just sad, really disappointed as we go further and further into the end times. It's like watching the crowd that you thought you knew and understood at least generally, turn into something that you don't recognize anymore. And I mean, I know those kinds of people have always been there. Christian anti-Semites and those who wish to... this thing... It's because I got a shirt on underneath. Those who wish to cast stones and always something to attack about, always something to have a grievance about. It doesn't matter what. And let's try to get that right. But I'm seeing the number of these people and their cases increase massively. And I had to go off on I couldn't hold it in anymore. I couldn't hold it in anymore at all. I had to say something. This morning, I'm going to read Revelation chapter 3 and verses 7 to 13. And this is Christ's 6th letter to the Revelation churches, which you could say are also the 7 mentalities that cover the end times church, if you like. I've heard that said before. Whatever mentality we have, it fits in one of these categories of 7. And the end times church has a lot of warnings to it through these letters. And this one's particularly significant, but anyway. This is called The Faithful Church by the subtitle at the top, which is a wonderful title, but I generally don't take notice of those because there is so much more contained in the letter from our Messiah, okay, and Lord. So this is letter number 6, The Faithful Church. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia, write, these things says he who is holy, who is true, who has the key of David. I'm so glad that he didn't say the Star of David, because that would go off on a whole different tangent after the last video I made. These things says he who is holy, who is true, he who is true, he who has the key of David, he who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens. I know your works. See, I have set before you an open door. Many people translate that as a picture of the rapture, but okay. Anyway, I mean that's one letter that mentions this among all 7, but okay. Anyway, I have set before you an open door, and no one can shut it, for you have a little strength, have kept my word, and have not denied my name. I can see why they translate that open door, because this is to those who are faithful. And Jesus says in Scripture, the one thing that he demands of his servants is for them to be faithful. Matthew 24, he who is faithful unto the end is the one that will be saved, and so on and so on. There are so many scriptural references to this, it's not even funny. So anyway. For you have a little strength, have kept my word, and have not denied my name. Indeed, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say they are Jews and are not, but lie. Indeed, I will make them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. Again, one of the most hijacked verses in the entire scripture, used by every person with a grievance and a chip on their shoulder against every other denomination, using it against the nation of Israel, using it against everybody they can think of when they know nothing about the scripture, about who Jesus is talking about. Again, they've done no research. They have no archaeological sources, no texts or records or documents to quote. They've taken a verse translated into King James English and run with it against whoever they wish to run against. Prophecy alone verifies exactly who the nation of Israel are right now. Prophecy. Because if you wipe that out, then you have no standing to claim to know that the kingdom of Christ is coming. Because you've wiped out the one major evidence, among the many, by the way, that exists, that he said would happen before his coming. That he would regather his people where they have been scattered for 2,000 years from all over the world and bring them back home to his land, to their land. A description that fits no one else on the planet. If you oppose that, then you have no standing before him, because you have disbelieved his word. You have no timelines, no calendars, solar or lunar. You have nothing. You have dismissed the heart and the soul of prophecy from which all of the other prophecies are coming out. The whole world is gathered against Israel right now, and you're going to join in their voices. If you condemn them, you have nothing left for the least of these, my brothers, because God is doing exactly what he said he would do with them. And if you say that they are not who they are, then you've just called God a liar, and you've slandered him as a deceiver, because everything he described is exactly what is taking place. This is the second time, I believe, because I know it's mentioned twice about this synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews but are not Jews. I would advise you to, in reference to this, to look up the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 14. Okay? I hope I can read my tiny, tiny writing. In fact, I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to see what it is I put there, because I go through my Bible constantly, and I leave notes for myself constantly. And as you do this and your notes build up over the years, it becomes very, very interesting. You learn more. You teach yourself, literally. Here it is. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 14. Also the sons of those who afflicted you shall come bowing to you, and all those who despised you shall fall prostrate at your feet, at the soles of your feet, and they shall call you the city of the Lord, Jerusalem, Zion, the Holy One of Israel. Okay? Talking about Jerusalem, of which city God says in the end times, the whole of the world's nations shall come against her, and Jesus says that all who come against Jerusalem shall fall into pieces. And in reference to himself as the building block upon whom the building block falls, I mean, they'll be ground into powder, but it says, Jerusalem shall be a stumbling stone for all nations of the world, which is exactly what's happening now. The sons of those who afflicted you. And do you see how, yes, there's been political infiltrations, or if you can call it that, there's, all these Freemason stuff and all this. I don't care about any of that. Who are the people? The people. If you attack the people or claim that they have been replaced, that's the point of contention between the Lord and you, because God has done with those people exactly what he said he would do. This is between the Lord and you, right? Not me and you. I'm nothing. I'm just dust, like you are. But be careful, because Jesus warned that every casual word you say will be taken and measured very carefully and examined. and you'll have to give an account for it in the courts of heaven, in your judgment. It will happen, and you've only got one chance of it happening. There's going to be one judgment. You're not getting a rerun. You can't get it better the next time. There is no next time. So by the time you arrive in that court and have to answer and give an account for your words, the consequences thereof are it. So be very careful. Jesus doesn't use the term Armageddon. Research the scriptures. He calls it the day of examination. Indeed, I will make them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you, because you have kept my command to persevere. I will also keep you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon the whole world, to test those who dwell on the earth, to see where they really stand. Behold, I am coming quickly. Hold fast to what you have, so that no one may take your crown. He who overcomes, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go out no more. You're never going to be without him. You're never going to be out of his presence. As his smoke fills, as the glory of the Lord fills the temple, so will you be in his wonderful presence forever. I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go out no more. I will write on him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem. The name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, which comes down out of heaven from my God. And I will write on him my new name. Everything in threes. The name of my God, the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, and my new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Again, as always with every single letter, this particular letter is not just singular to this church that he's writing to. Even though each church has different instructions, Christ at the end of every single letter says, effectively, listen up, all of you. Listen to what I'm saying to these people. You take note of this. You take note of this too. Listen up and pay attention. Watch. Mark 13:37. What I say to you, I say to all. Watch. He is coming soon. God bless you. Have a great day, and perhaps we'll see each other soon. All right? The Lord is coming. There is everything to celebrate. He loves you. He wants you to do well for him. Why? Because people out there need what you have. They need you to bear witness for him, even if they resist you. God bless you, and perhaps we'll see each other soon. God bless.